a morning tea, a moment for yourself, and a heartfelt story. That's what I invite you to share today. We're about to dive into an emotional journey, one where you might see yourself reflected. If you're feeling tired or tangled, just relax. This tale's a reminder of boundaries and respect. Don't leave yet, because the worst happens when you trust the one you love most. Ever felt invaded in your own home? What would you do if your partner's family moved in without a word to you? Hey, listener, let's step into a story where trust and boundaries get tested in a quiet but shattering way. I'm Jake, 32, a civil engineer in Austin, Texas, living solo in a sleek one-bedroom apartment, me sanctuary after long workdays. My girlfriend of 3 years, Emily, 31, is a warm-hearted elementary school teacher. Her laughter a contrast to my structured world. We've got an unspoken rule. Visiting each other's place means a quick heads-up text, a nod to our independence. Our relationship steady, built on respect, or so I thought. I was away on a 2-week work trip, mapping a bridge project, when my boss called me back early, setting the stage for a shock that would rock my trust in Emily. Jake and Emily's bond thrives on balance. She's all chalkboard art and spontaneity, while I'm blueprints and schedules. We spend weekends hiking or cooking, but cherish our own space. Her cozy duplex, my minimalist pad. The text before visiting rule keeps things smooth, respecting our need for control over our homes. 2 weeks ago, I left for a site in Nevada, expecting long days and spotty signal. Emily sent me off with a kiss and a text, when you can. Halfway through, the project wrapped ahead of schedule, and I headed home, eager for my own bed, unaware of the betrayal waiting. Jake's trust in his girlfriend Emily was about to face a brutal test. At 32, a civil engineer in Austin, Texas, Jake valued his orderly apartment as a sanctuary, a space he shared with Emily, 31, an elementary school teacher. Under a simple rule, text before visiting. Their 3-year relationship thrived on mutual respect. But while Jake was on a 2-week work trip, cut short unexpectedly, he returned home to a violation that would unravel his sense of safety and spark a family feud. What he found in his own home would push his boundaries to the breaking point, leaving him questioning his instincts and his love. Jake's flight landed in Austin at 9 p.m., a day earlier than planned. Exhausted from 2 weeks of dusty site surveys, he craved his couch, a beer, maybe a quick text to Emily to plan a weekend hike. He hadn't told her he was back. His phone had died mid-travel, and he figured a surprise visit to her place tomorrow would be sweet. Dragging his suitcase up to his 3rd-floor apartment, he noticed an odd glow through his window, brighter than the lamp he usually left on. Then he heard it, a child's giggle, high-pitched, followed by a muffled shout. His heart skipped, adrenaline spiking. Was someone in his house? Key in hand, Jake eased the door open, braced for a break-in. The sight stopped him cold. His living room was a war zone, pizza boxes strewn on the coffee table, soda cans toppling, a juice stain pooling on his beige rug. A boy, maybe 8, sprawled on his couch, smashing buttons on Jake's PlayStation, the TV blaring a racing game. In the kitchen, a woman, Emily's younger sister, Claire, 28, stirred a pot, while her husband, Matt, 30, scrolled his phone at the dining table. Their toddler, Lily, waddled by, smearing crumbs on Jake's hardwood. His apartment, his refuge, was their vacation spot. Claire, Jake said, voice sharp, dropping his bag. She spun, startled, then grinned. Jake, you're back early? Matt looked up, casual, like Jake was a guest in his own home. Hey, man, good trip. The boy, their son Ethan, barely glanced over, glued to the game. Jake's shock turned to fury. What are you doing here? He demanded, scanning the mess dishes piled in the sink. His throw blanket crumpled, a wet towel on his armchair. Claire's smile faltered. Oh, Emily said we could crash for a bit. Our AC's busted, and the kids needed a break. Jake's phone, now charging, lit up with a text from Emily, time-stamped an hour ago. BTW, Claire and fam are at your place for a few days. Hope that's cool, hope that's cool. His blood boiled. Their rule text before visiting was crystal clear, and Emily had let her family invade his home without a word until now. "This isn't okay," Jake said, voice low but trembling. "You need to leave. Now." Claire's eyes widened. Matt scoffing. "Whoa, relax, dude," Matt said. "Emily gave us the green light. It's just a week. The kids are having fun." "Fun," Jake snapped, pointing to the chaos. "This is my home, not a hotel. You didn't ask me." Claire clutched her spatula, defensive. "We're family, Jake. Emily said you'd be fine with it." "Don't make this weird," Matt chimed in. "You're freaking out over nothing. You want to ruin the kids' vacation." The guilt trip hit, but Jake's anger held firm. "Get out, or I'm calling the cops," he said, pulling out his phone. Ethan, overhearing, paused the game, eyes wide. Lily started to cry, and Claire rushed to her, glaring. "You're scaring my kids," she hissed. "What's wrong with you?" The standoff escalated as Jake noticed more violations. His bathroom door was ajar, his medicine cabinet open. His prescription bottle painkillers from a knee injury was on the counter. "Cap loose, pills missing. Who went through my stuff?" he demanded, holding up the bottle. Matt shrugged, avoiding his gaze. Ethan was curious. "No big deal. No big deal." Jake's privacy, his safety, had been breached, and they acted like he was the problem. "Pack your things," he said, voice cold. "You're done here." Claire called Emily, her voice shaking as she recounted Jake's overreaction. Emily's call came seconds later, her tone a mix of panic and frustration. "Jake, why are you kicking them out? They needed a place to stay. I thought you'd understand." Jake's heart sank. Emily wasn't apologizing. She was defending them. "You let them take over my home, Emily, without asking. They went through my meds." "How is that okay?" she sighed. "They're family. I didn't think it was a big deal. Can't you just let it slide?" Her dismissal cut deeper than the mess, her betrayal sharper than Claire's entitlement. By midnight, Claire, Matt, and the kids were gone, leaving Jake with a trashed apartment and a fractured trust. Word spread fast. Emily's parents texted, calling him selfish and heartless for evicting kids. Even Jake's sister, swayed by Emily's side, suggested he was too rigid. Social media Bizette Claire posted a vague rant about inhospitable people, and mutual friends liked it. Jake, alone amid the chaos, second-guessed himself. Was he too harsh, blowing a family favor out of proportion? His home, his rules, felt like his only anchor, but the backlash made him question his stand. At 32, Jake faced a storm: Emily's betrayal, her family's audacity, and his own doubt. The loft, once his pride, felt violated, and Emily's casual BTW text burned in his mind. Was he protecting his boundaries, or had he overreacted, alienating the woman he loved and her kin? The silence of his apartment offered no answers, only the weight of a trust broken and a relationship on the brink. Listener, Jake's home was invaded, and Emily's betrayal has sparked a firestorm. Was he right to stand firm, or did he overplay his hand? Stay with Metha's stories about to unravel the cost of boundaries when love and family collide. Jake's world was rocked when he returned from a work trip to find Emily's sister and family living in his Austin apartment without his consent. At 32, a civil engineer, Jake valued his home as a sanctuary, a space governed by a mutual rule with Emily, 31, his girlfriend of 3 years, text before visiting. Her casual approval of her family's invasion, complete with mess, privacy violations, and missing pill, shattered his trust. Kicking them out sparked backlash, with Emily and her family branding him selfish. Now, alone in his violated space, Jake grapples with his choice, seeking clarity amid the emotional wreckage. Jake couldn't shake the betrayal. Cleaning juice stains from his rug, he felt stripped of control, his home no longer his. Emily's text BTW, "They're at your place," played on repeat, her dismissal a knife. If roles were reversed, he'd never have let his family overrun her duplex without her okay. Their rule, their respect, was mutual, or so he'd thought. Worse, the gaslighting stung. Claire's were family. Emily's let it slide. The accusations of being heartless for protecting his space. They twisted his anger, making him question if he was the problem, if his boundaries were too rigid. At 32, he felt manipulated, forced to apologize for demanding respect in his own home. Reflection brought clarity. Jake loved Emily, but love didn't justify erasing his boundaries. Her family's warmth, Claire's smiles, the kids' laughter didn't grant them a free pass to invade his life, rummage his meds, or trash his loft. Emily's failure to see his side, to prioritize their agreed rules, exposed a flaw in their bond. A relationship, he realized, thrives on mutual consent, not one-sided assumptions. His stand wasn't about pettiness, it was about self-respect, about guarding the space that grounded him. The backlash hurt, but bending would have cost him more, his sense of safety, his trust in Emily. The silence of his apartment, now tidy but hollow, held a hard-won truth: boundaries aren't negotiable, even for love. Jake didn't know if he and Emily could rebuild their talks. If they happened, would need to address her betrayal, her family's entitlement. For now, he leaned into his resolve, knowing he'd protected his core, even if it meant standing alone. At 32, he embraced the lesson: love must honor limits, or it's not love at all. So, listener, thanks for staying. Jake's held his ground, but at a cost: his trust, his peace, maybe his love. What do you think? Was Jake too harsh, or the only one keeping his head in a chaotic mess? Share your thoughts below. These stories thrive on different perspectives. Have you ever had to defend your space against those you love? Tell me, I'm listening. And if you're facing a boundary breach, remember, respect starts with standing firm, even when it's hard.